And I think we're live now. I think I read something last time that we don't go live when we think we go live. But hello, welcome to Shush.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Well,
didn't
why don't
really.
we just do this until until we see it on there, and that's when we'll start talking.
Oh my God. All right. So I think we're live. Let us know if you can hear us and see us. This is Shush Secret Time. I am Tara, and that is Natalie. If you have
Ew.
tuned into the Shush Secret Time before, what's happening is that we have a YouTube channel. Did you know that? That's what we do. We have a YouTube channel, and this is our behind the scenes conversation with you guys. We love to come in and chat, give you guys a little peek behind the curtain of some of the things that are going on in our lives. Not everything, because some things are still secret. Anyways, we like to interact with you. So if you are out there in the chat, say hi, please, and thank you so that we can say hi back so we know who we're talking to. Otherwise, we're talking into the void or to each other, and that's just a normal Zoom.
I was like, at least there's two of us. When there's
Yeah,
just one
right.
of us talking into the void, it's weird.
It's so much harder. So much harder. All right, guys, hit it. Natalie's gonna read your handle, and we're gonna get going.
Hello, message retracted. I mean, unitless constants. Uh, howdy, Jackboots. Not able to stay. I'm at an appointment. Jackboots, is it your eyeballs? Are you getting your eyeballs looked at? Jackboots always getting his eyeballs looked at.
Hmm.
Shannon West. Hello, hello, hello. When I die, please change my Facebook status to it's not that hot as it's not as hot as I thought it would be. How's your back, Shannon? I don't know if you saw Shannon threw out or slipped a disc or something like that. She's
Oh, I saw something about back, but I didn't know it was a slip disc. That sounds
something
terrible.
like that.
Ugh.
Desiree, heyo, Clayton Gordon, hello, hello, hello. Lockpicking engineer, good day. You know what I didn't do is make my chat bigger. I'm like
Oh, I
straining.
didn't even pop it out. Like I knew I was not doing something I needed to do.
David Faith, hello, hello. Blair, hola, hola.
Hola.
And Toby is here. That's not very many chatters today.
Well, it is like the first of summer, so people are like doing stuff. They're like done and off. And like for like a lot of people taking their vacations right now.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
kids got done with their
yeah,
schooling
yeah.
and
Even like the non-kidders going like now, like, oh, it's summer, let's go do something or whatever. And
not me.
it is apparently Memorial Day weekend as well.
Guys, it snuck up on us.
A fact that both of us seem to not know is coming up. Oh,
Uh on a funny note with that, so I was telling Tara, so I've got the candle shop. I'm a candle maker now. Wait, there's a word for that. There's a term for a candle maker. They're like a chandelier or something like that.
whoa, I
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
that. It's
But so I made a little calendar of like things that I need to have, like Father's Day. Oh, I can have a couple of Father's Day mugs out there, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Totally skipped over Memorial Day. And meanwhile, at all the stores here, there have been 4th of July things. In my mind, everything that was out was 4th of July decorations, just like super early.
good.
And then I realized this morning because something advertised to me, it was like Uber going, get to the airport easier Memorial Day. I'm like, what? And then all the pieces started to come together in my mind as like the equations are playing. And at Walmart, they've had these little flower arrangements that are that are 4th of July flower arrangements in my head. And it clicked this morning after, I mean, literally while I'm laying in bed and I see the thing about getting to the airport on Memorial Day, I went, oh, those were, and I saw the flower arrangements and I was like, why do they all look like they belong on like a tombstone?
Yeah.
And it's because they do. They
That's
are
what
Memorial Day wreaths.
yeah.
They are flowers to put on tombs. And I am so dense that even with thinking that, I just still thought they were 4th of July ones. I am a genius.
Genius.
Super smart.
Killing it.
Last
Slaying.
night I told Justin he dodged a bullet. He was like, what? I go, you dodged a bullet. You didn't marry a moron. And he's like, I don't even know. He's like, I don't even know how to reply to that.
I don't know. Answer's safe. Oh my God. Oh, someone says Natalie dressed for the fourth too. Like you're in the right colors.
No, well, then once I knew, I ran out today and had to buy little American flags and stuff like that for my booth.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I wore my other plaid shirt yesterday. We're in that weather right now. My lightweight
Yes.
plaid. We're in
We're
lightweight.
like it's really
Hi,
gloomy.
Tammy.
It's in gloom. Tammy, hello from AZ. Hello, Tammy. And hello, Mindbox Studios. We're in gloom. but it's like it warms up during the day for like 3 hours here. So
Yeah.
like your tank, it's too freaking hot to wear anything else. And then it gets so cold at night. Like I'm bringing like several jackets to work, like my layer one, layer two, because it gets cold enough that I'm like freezing by the end of it.
Yeah. We're at like, I mean, I think today it's just a high of 69,
Okay.
but last Saturday was a high of 86. This
She,
Saturday it's a high of 68.
it's like you didn't have spring. You had like snow on Mother's Day, and now it's summer. There's no in
Well,
between.
and then the other weird thing is, and I was telling you about this, like, so there's not a cloud in the sky right now. I mean, in all directions, clear, clear, clear. But by 4 o'clock, it could be raining. Like, just, I don't know. I mean, it could be snowing for all I know. It's just so weird. The weather here is completely unpredictable. I don't
The
get it.
the intense rain we've had more rain than Seattle at this point in LA, which is just unheard of. Every plant I own is in super mode. Like everything has grown
Oh,
so
yeah.
much, so big, so fast. Like I came back from being out of town for a weekend. I was like, holy crap, now like my rose bush is like going freaking nuts. Like there's so many roses on it. Like my bougainvillea is the
Yeah.
biggest it's ever been because I've struggled to keep that thing alive. And the ivy, my my jasmine is going. I've never been able to keep jasmine alive until this year, and it's going berserk. Like
Wow.
everything is going nuts. I started to tell you this off camera, but I now officially live in a Disney forest because not only is everything just so overgrown and like crazy plants, the fauna is going nuts right now. The fauna is out of control. I'm like
Yeah.
inundated by butterflies every day. Like every morning I see all these butterflies. The squirrels have lost their dang minds.
Are they Twitter pated?
Oh my God, I'll send this to you. I
They're
posted this.
Twitter pated. It's spring.
Oh my God. Yesterday, I walked to the back room, and it was yesterday or the day before. I walked to my back room and I see in the window this large piece of fabric on my back fence moving. I'm like, what the is going on? So I stare at it, and it's the squirrel who's trying to pull this large piece of fabric somewhere. I don't know where. Probably its nest. It's like huge. It's a giant green piece of fabric. It's yanking, yanking, yanking. I start filming him, and he sees me, and he's like, and he keeps going, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then eventually, okay, that's enough. You're about to ruin because it's like on the fence, and they've already messed up like a bunch of my stuff. The squirrels here go freaking nuts. But then I go out there to go like, what? Go away. Stop doing that. What is this? Let me help you with it if you're trying to do something. So I
Let
pull
me
it down.
help you.
Like, I'll take it to your nest for you. I pull it down. It's a curtain rod. It's a full curtain rod with a full curtain on it. Like, I don't know. And I like looked up at the windows above me, and there is like a window that has a matching one.
Think
Kind of,
it fell out of a window.
I have no idea. I have
That squirrel
no
probably was on that thing and it fell and he like parachuted down
I
and
it's
he's trying to put it back to destroy the evidence.
it's absolutely baffling what he was up to. Like I have no idea. So I pulled it down, like left it on the ground, and I came back like today and noticed that it had been moved. I'm like, what is he trying to do? I have no idea.
He doesn't like the aesthetics. It
No,
is not like this is actually his backyard. You don't know that.
no.
And he's like, I don't like this color palette. It does not go with my living quarters.
I'm finding spiders
Oh
every
yeah.
everywhere.
The
Cricket,
spiders are in full
yeah,
effect in
the
this house
crickets
right
have
now.
quieted because the spiders are eating them all. The spiders have gone nuts. And then last night I came home. I have two outdoor cats, which I haven't seen Sugar Cookie in a while, but I have two outdoor cats. One's Gray Cat, one's Sugar Cookie. Gray Cat was coming around, so he greeted me when I was leaving for work. So I bought him some chicken strips from work because this is what we do now. He fucking loves chicken strips. It's his favorite thing. So I bought some chicken strips for work for him. I come back home from work and I sit on the porch. I don't know why 2 a.m. is like a great time for Tara to sit on her back or front porch and feed a cat. I sit on my porch and I'm feeding him. And I see out of my corner of my eye, another creature coming up. I was like, oh, must be Sugar Cookie. No, it is a giant raccoon, like gargantuan and brave. And
No.
Gray Cat does not care for this raccoon, but I was like, okay. And he's like, comes over, like checks it all out, goes up to the tree, is like hanging in the tree. Like I'm like, hi, what you do? I mean, huge, 2 times Gizmo,
Yeah.
massive, massive raccoon. Like I'm like, what is I like literally feel like I am in the forest in Sleeping Beauty, and I've got all these animals around.
Your little animal friends.
Yeah, doing shit all day. Like, what are y'all doing? And the birds, the amount of they have like little red chests,
Red-breasted.
red-breasted, blah blah blahs.
Robins, that's a thing. Red-breasted robins.
I'm guessing, I don't know. I don't know enough about birds.
Just go for it. Why not?
I'm not gonna gender a bird. The amount of them hanging out in the backyard right now, like eating bird seed. Like I always have bird seed going.
Yeah.
The level of this right now is like a whole new level of birds.
Interesting.
But yet I still have a crow. I want a crow. This is what I'm working on next. I gotta get a crow catcher. Like little
crow catcher.
Little shinies dangling in a tree. And I think I see one right now, like flying way over there. Like, come to my house.
Crows are territorial.
I know they are. They're very territorial.
Yeah,
I probably would get rid of all my red birds.
So hummingbirds are supposed to be territorial as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Some of them are. Some of them you could get like one. Like if you put out a hummingbird feeder, you can get where it's like a one territorial hummingbird, and then you only get the one, and no one else can come around. We never had that with ours. There were a bunch of hummingbirds outside our house.
Yeah,
crow or a raven makes a huge difference.
I never see my hummingbirds. I see the water lines going down, and there's red stuff places. So like definitely someone's coming up and drinking.
Something's eating out of it. Could be a
squirrel. It could be a squirrel. Fucking squirrel. They're the worst here. The squirrels here are just out of control. They
own the place.
Yeah, they really do. They, especially this time of year, they just go nuts. Happy Thursday afternoon.
Have a lot here.
No,
we've got like ground squirrels or I mean, I think they're still squirrels, but they're like, there was one that lived up on the way to the ranch that every time we would drive by, it would dart in front of us. And I swear to you, the same place, like, and not the same direction. And then and if we missed it, I would look behind us, and then it would come out and look. And there was a little ground squirrel friend.
Yeah, I think it happened like one time when I was up there. It like, you're like, yeah, that's our squirrel. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That's our cat. The animals are nuts. My kitty ran away 2 nights ago. If only he had wings. I saw a hummingbird at last twice in my backyard. It was squirrel crying in the tree last week. Oh yeah, you've got animal issues as well. Any bike contests, welcome.
Justin says it was a chipmunk friend. We have
chipmunk friend. Okay, excellent.
Our chipmunk friend. And I swear to you, it had to be the same one. It was the exact same spot on that road that is, a 10-mile road. So it's at least the same family, like if not the same chipmunk.
Here, kitty.
I have a really gross pumpkin story if you want to hear it.
Sure.
Like it's really gross.
I want a pumpkin update anyways. I saw
it's really gross. Okay. So it starts off, Pumpkin was missing the other night. And not missing. We still let him go outside whenever he wants to. Justin's going to get upset that I'm telling this story.
Oh my God. Really quick. High prize pig. I don't recognize your name. Welcome to
Zuckerman's famous pig. Gee whiz, what do you see? The most famous pig in history. Oh, sorry.
Welcome. Hey, how are you?
Yeah. So I'm trigger warning on gross stories. Okay.
Trigger warning. Everyone get ready for it. You may have to close your ears.
So Pumpkin's missing for a couple hours. We thought he'd gone out back. We called him. He never came in, whatever. Turns out he was closed in the garage. Not meowing or anything. He's just exploring out there. And so I go upstairs. I try to call him before I go to bed. And then I go to the front door and I just open the garage and look at a Pumpkin. I mean, I didn't even call. I was just like, Pumpkin? ? And nothing. And I close the door and I turn off the light. And as I close the door to the garage, I hear a meow. But I don't realize it's coming from inside. So I close that door and I'm like walking around going, where are you? Where are you? And he's meowing from inside the garage, but I can't tell where it's coming from. Yeah. I'm like, where are you? I'm like, look at the front door now. And then finally I've gone to the other side of the door. And that's when I realized, he's in the garage. And he's sitting at the top of the stairs. Anyway, so he comes inside. He goes to the bathroom. He's in the litter box. This is where it starts to get gross. He's in the litter box and he's straining. And he has one little nugget that comes out of poop. One little tiny nugget comes out of poop. And I'm like, poor thing, he's constipated, right? he's starting to clean it up, and then he suddenly freaks the fuck out and jumps out and starts dragging his butt across the floor. And I'm like, oh fuck, worms. You know, we've had worms before.
Yeah.
Like, okay, worms. And I'm trying to get him, but he keeps like running, and then like he's okay for a second, and then like no, and like rubs his butt on the floor. So I pick up this cat, I flip him over, and he's got half a turd sticking out of his ass.
It's stuck. Oh, Pumpkin.
This hard little fucking turd, half sticking out of his ass. And so now, and I'm like, I have to have this moment with myself that says, you know, when you have kids or you have pets, sometimes you got to do gross things.
Yeah.
And so like I've gone and I'm like, I come and knock on the door, and Justin, you know, Justin's in here watching. I'm like, Pumpkin's having an issue. I don't know what it is yet. And this is before I knew this is why I was just dragging his butt. And then, so Justin comes, and I was like, he's dragging his butt on the floor and he's getting poop places. So I already knew there was poop getting places. So I'm cleaning up the poop, flip him over, just half a turd sticking out of his butt. I'm like, well, I can't leave this here. Yeah. So now I'm like, so I got tissue and I'm trying to pull this half a turd out of his butt.
Oh.
And he's not happy about it. And now I suddenly am concerned that it might still be a worm of some sort. Oh, like it's way too big for that. But like now I freaked myself out. Now I'm now I'm like, if this thing is alive, I will not be okay. Like I will projectile vomit if it's alive. Like I don't mind the poop part of it. Poop, okay, that happens. But if this thing moves, like we're not gonna be okay. So now I'm like, Justin, you have to get it. So I'm holding the cat, and Justin, and he's like, well, let's move into the other room so we can actually see. So we come in here, and Justin's got gloves on, and I'm holding the cat, and Justin pulls this shit out of fucking cat. And it was just poop. It was just hard poop. But like, I was like, I can't do this. Like, if it ends, I mean, I would have done it if I was by myself, but, and that wasn't gross to me. It was the idea, if it had been like some sort of worm or something, like tapewormy thing, like I would have not been okay.
No, you would have had like an alien moment. You can't do it. Like, that's just too much.
Pumpkin and I had that once before where we were, I think with his pustule, like where I was crying while I was doing it. And I'm like, we're going to be okay. We will both be okay. Pumpkin, I don't like this any more than you do. Anyway, that was the gross Pumpkin update. He's fine now. He was so happy afterwards. Oh. He was already in like thankful mode that I saved him from being locked in the garage. And then he was like, you pulled poop from my butt.
Mom. Oh my God. You got your mom stripe that day too.
Oh yeah. Justin says he's thanking somebody. It was super gross. I mean, it was really, really dry. So it wasn't like, but at the same time,
I saw
very unpleasant.
I saw this stuff on TikTok about cats and urinary tract infections and like dying and blood and scared the behaviors out of me about cats getting enough water. And I remember Brandon being really like worried about Gizmo getting enough water and stuff. But this like video, like I was like, okay, Gizmo, I got you. We're gonna change everything we're doing about your water situation. Like, I'm like, okay, you're definitely having wet food, and I'm gonna start putting tuna water in your.
Well, that's one of the reasons you give them wet food. I mean, you give them dry to keep their teeth going well, and you give them wet to help them keep hydrated. Yeah. We've been feeding this cat a new cat food because we got it for free. Like someone gave us a case of this, and I think he's getting a little dehydrated from it. So, but here's the good thing that came with it: his poop doesn't stink nearly as bad.
Okay,
but probably because it's dehydrated. And so now I got to figure out like a happy, I mean, and he also, when he drinks water, he drinks a lot of water now, which it didn't seem like the same way before.
Yeah. So maybe
anyway, so that's what's happening with Pumpkin. That was not on my list of things to talk about today.
my short but accurate list. That's a whole different thing.
And I bet there's weird demonetizations that have happened to this.
I'm sure we have been demonetized. I'm sure we've been squashed by YouTube.
This is what you guys tune in for. Is cat poop corner. Oh man.
Speaking of YouTube, I saw a thing on Phil DeFranco's channel about the Try Guys and that they're forming their own channel. Did you hear anything about this yet?
I thought they already had their own channel.
I'm not their own channel. I'm sorry. Their own streaming service.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Which was another channel that's really big and popular did the same thing, but did it like the wrong way entirely. But they're starting their own streaming service because they're finding that their content's just not getting out there anymore. Like the algorithm is like completely against, like, we're making this amazing content, but no one's seeing it.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, that made me feel so much better. I was like, okay, it's not us and our content.
Well, I don't think it was necessarily that the algorithm was ever their friend. I think YouTube was their friend. And I love the idea of the algorithm. Like it's used as this thing to like that there is some automation to it, which that's how it's always implied. I think most of it is like thumb on a scale situation for good and for bad, like you find things that are doing well and you boost them. I don't think there's really some all-powerful algorithm. I mean, I think there is like an algorithm and it does do things, but that's not who's picking the winners and losers.
Right. Yeah. Like they're just finding that their content isn't doing as well on YouTube as it used to. And so now they're like, we're going to go do our own thing. And I was like, oh, it makes me feel better. I'm just like, I feel better. Like whatever. Everyone's having a hard time getting views right now. So it's like Franco talks about it. He's like, I can't talk about this because if I do that, I'll get suppressed. I'm like, yeah, everyone's kind of like dealing with
that's
getting out there.
Different thing. Yeah.
Getting seen. Oh yeah. Getting seen and getting, getting the eyes that they always used to get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like someone was like saying that someone of ours was like, your stuff wasn't showing up in my For You front page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's just, we weren't ranking. We own trynewstuff.com.
We evidently own all of the things. But what we've learned is it doesn't matter if you own anything, someone else can use it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's true. Oh
it just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. If you are not following us on TikTok or Instagram, we'll briefly cover this and then we're going to move on with our lives. If you are not following us on TikTok or Instagram and you did not see this, what has happened in our world is a trailer has come out for a movie called If, written by John Krasinski and directed by him, starring Ryan Reynolds. There are elements of this Imaginary Friends movie that are really similar to our movie. We have not seen this movie yet. And
there's elements of the trailer, which obviously then there's pieces of the movie, but the trailer itself was 5 minutes of Imaginary Friends.
5 minutes of a world that we created with the Foster's Imaginary Friends, which we've never seen. So I don't know how much from Foster's they're
I did ask someone, so we put a thing out on TikTok, like just to see who was gonna see whatever. And we did it before the movie came out because everything we had heard about, like we tried to contact a lawyer just to see, because you're supposed to do it before the movie comes out, which is interesting because you haven't seen the movie yet. But so that was a lot of people's like, and then I guess the movie does have this whole other subplot of the mother or the father died or something. And so there's this whole other subplot, but so I put out a TikTok about it and I did get a lot of, so you both stole from Foster's Imaginary Friends. I was like, I don't know. I mean, first of all, I don't think ours did, in that, because ours was about adults anyway. Like ours was a different world. Like, but their contention is that Imaginary Friends Inc. stole from Foster's. That Foster, and I asked this, I was like, from what I understood, it was a foster home for imaginary friends that were discarded imaginary friends. I was like, were they trying to place them? And someone said yes. I had one person say that they were. I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen the show.
Ours is more, if you want to say we're stealing something, we're more stealing from Monsters Inc. because it's a company that their job is to pair you with an imaginary friend. That's what Imaginary Friend does. So I could be way more Monsters Inc. than I've never seen Foster's Imaginary. I
it was after our time. So
I registered that it was a thing, but I, like you were saying, I kept saying the title wrong. Like I clearly have never seen it.
Well, it is a foster home though. Like that's what it is. It is a foster home for imaginary friends that were discarded. It's a halfway house for but from what I mean, because in any like advertisement for it or anything I've ever seen or clipped from it or anything like that, it's the same characters in a house. So it like that doesn't to me says that there's any placement happening, or maybe these are just the 5 characters that never get placed. But I mean, if foster home does imply that you're trying to get them into permanent homes, I guess. I don't know. Anyway,
Anyways, well,
don't
the
care.
thing is, we know that the imaginary friends concept is not a new one. Like Drop Dead Fred, we know. What we're saying is the elements of the world that we created, the very specific elements that we put together, were the ones that looked like they were well represented in another person's work.
Yeah.
Are we saying it's stolen? Not necessarily. I would rather it not. I would rather not be the case.
Actually feels better for me if it was just something that, was someone else's idea.
Yeah. Or, but what it seems more like is that, John Krasinski got an idea, like, because I did watch an interview where he was talking about the seed of the idea, and so it was like, they never mentioned you in there, and I'm like, yeah, because what he did was he got inspired by his children's imaginary friends. You go online, you look at every other imaginary friend thing that's ever happened, and you still have the best bits and put it together into a movie. That's probably what happened.
Well, that's what it really, to me, and that's what I said at the end of our thing was like, I guess if you take enough things from other people's, enough ingredients from other people's things and you make your own soup, then
that's a new thing. And that's, hey, listen, it happens. Whatever. It's just it sucks. It sucks because like what sucks to me is that we have been proven time and time again that we're fucking awesome. Now we lost our monetization. We're great. We're amazing. We have amazing ideas. We have solid writing, and we're just not getting cracks at the bat. And other people are using our ideas, intentionally or not, and getting cracks at the bat. And
and so I think Imaginary Friends, the movie, not ours, the imaginary friend one that's Evil Teddy. Like, I don't think that's a ripoff from us at all. No. It's not the same thing. And that's one where there's just two people who have a similar idea that are out there in the zeitgeist. And 100%. And doesn't mean it didn't, but at the same time, so there's two movies that are coming out at the same time that both of them are very strong copies of our movies.
Right.
And only one of them do I think was actually
right. Exactly.
Possibly taken. No way. Like the other one, I'm like, I don't think we could watch it if there's a pen, at some point in time, the Teddy is inside the house.
It does potentially squash our Evil Teddy movie that we were working.
See that's the other. So, instead what I do in that moment, I was like, crap. Now I can't make that.
Yeah. Now it's like 10 years before I can make my version because I got to wait. Well,
you have to really lean into the comedy element of it. You have to make it a spoof.
Yeah.
Which is also a thing.
Also an option. It's just annoying when you're trying to make a career happen for yourself. You're just like, cool. All right, next idea. Because we'll have more ideas.
Yeah.
You can't copyright a recipe book. You can't? Oh, I guess not, huh?
Really?
I did not know that.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you not? I mean, I understand you could maybe not a recipe, but like, so I can just take Kent Rollins' book and just rewrite it. I mean, like just page for page and go and sell it with a different cover. Like, I don't.
Based on the hit.
Yeah. That's the other thing is Desiree, like there are two different versions of his story of when he came up with it. There's a 10 years ago and then there's a pandemic story.
There's a pandemic. Like, Yeah. That's
also The Quiet Place is allegedly a direct ripoff of something else. And Justin says, I haven't seen this for myself, but Justin says that when he was accepting it, like when he was talking about it during interviews, well, we watched a lot of foreign films, which this was a foreign film. Like he just basically like, so you saw this movie and you made your version with your little tweaks, which this is the thing. It's not like there's really grounds to stand on legally or anything like that, but there's two different schools of thought here. There is someone made imaginary friends. I'm talking about the Evil Teddy one. I know this conversation gets so confusing. So the imaginary friends Evil Teddy thing. Somebody made that and I go, oh, now I can't make mine because it's too similar. And I decide I'm going to walk away from it. I'm not going to make something that I don't want to get accused of, even though I had this idea however long ago, whatever. I don't want to get accused of it. And the same thing with like, we go through and we try, if you're referencing something, you make sure it's very strong that you're referencing it and all these other things. There's that school of thought. And then there's the other one. Well, if I change it this much, it's okay. Yeah. Like it's not stealing because I made it about a girl. And you're like, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. For me, like as a artist, and I'm using that word so loosely with so many air quotes, I just don't find that fun, like to just take someone else's movie and tweak it ever so slightly and make it again. Okay, like I just don't, I would rather come up with my own bad idea and make it than
Yeah.
steal someone's great idea and try and make it better. Like it's not as interesting to me. Uh
I have a fantastic musical parody to Bad Guy by Billie Eilish that I wrote and then found out that there was already another one out there that was mine so much better.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and my music video idea for it is so much better that I still think I might do it because it's not the same world. I mean, it's not the same as taking someone's movie. I don't think. I think that, you know, we're both just making YouTube content. If I make something that is, you know, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll do something of like, you know, I wrote this and then found out there was this one and, you know, give acknowledgement to that other one.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would do versus, you know, I wouldn't like I am, but it's been sitting there shelf because I'm like, well, I don't want to get accused of stealing someone's thing. Like even
Yeah.
just the accusing of being stealing someone's
Yeah.
thing.
I don't want to ever be accused of that. Like that just makes you feel like a fraud. I already feel like a fraud enough that you stealing someone else's ideas and
Yeah.
also then that. So yeah, so that happened. That's been going on in the
But
background.
we're done with that.
Yeah, we're done. That happened. It happened in the background of our lives for the last since we went to Dubuque. We're
Yeah.
dealing with that, and then now we did a thing, and we're good. We're
We're
over
just
it
gonna
now.
we're I mean it might not be the last you ever hear of it because we'll
No,
probably use it.
we'll make jokes. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we'll make jokes. Oh, the jokes are coming. The jokes are coming. But
But
you know, here we are. Here we are. Parodies are
no,
fair.
I know parodies are fair use. Ours is the reason my thing is someone else made a parody that is the same thing,
Yeah,
unbeknownst to me before I wrote this.
yeah. Too
So
similar.
mine's to Bad Guy, to Billie Eilish's Bad Guy, but it's I'm the Bat Guy and it's a Batman parody of it.
Yeah,
And someone else did it. Not great,
yeah.
but they did do it. They did it before I did it. I
Mhm.
mean, well, they did it, yeah, definitely did it before I did it. I just didn't know it existed. And so, while yes, I can go write that, but that'd be like if I just today came up with, you know, Amish Paradise and
Yeah,
wrote the whole thing, and I'm like, well, yeah, but someone else did this already. Yeah, you came
yeah,
up with an idea. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Blair says, I just post your video when I see posts on I have.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for the subtle stick in the side. I really appreciated it because
Yeah.
there's no way. Like you and I, we'll make a conscious choice to either watch something because we don't want to steal something on accident, or like have a similar idea, or we'll intentionally avoid things because we want to make sure we read it and then go
It's
back and
it's
watch.
really hard. It's not, it's really, really hard to like, you know, I mean, because again, there's some everything's been done in some way, shape, or form. You're
Exactly.
not coming up with a completely new idea. You're
No.
trying to with a fresh way of doing things,
Yeah.
or you know, I mean, I think that there's actually like three storylines out there. One of them's Wizard of Oz, one of them's Romeo and Juliet, and you know, it's like you got Taming of the Shrew. Like they're all Shakespeare's, like four Shakespeare plays that we're all just revamping over
Just
and over again.
revamping over and over and over again, which is fine.
Um,
That's fine.
but so it is this weird thing of like when someone's working on something, you're like, okay, well, I think you should watch this just so you don't blatantly steal from it and not
Yeah.
realize that you're doing
No,
it. I'd
yeah.
hate for you to like but at the same time you want to avoid watching things because it might, for me, it actually stops me from writing because I'm like, how do I not steal from this one? I don't know. There's It's hard.
Yeah. Well, it also makes it hard to get excited about your idea sometimes when you're like, somebody already did it. You're like, oh, I'm no longer as excited as I was. And so it always seems better for us if we write something and get it to a first place and then go around and watch other things to make sure to check or like to tweak or so we
Make
can
sure you're not like doing any real big
yeah
like
make sure that what we're doing is really ours and not going to someday be like you stole that.
and so often you don't realize you're doing it. Like that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, and it like, we're working on something right now that there's a character in it that's very similar in a very similar situation that I am, you know, trying to avoid. Like, how do we make this one different? How do we not get accused of this being a ripoff of this moment? And I know the intention was never there. They never even thought of that until I said, this is that character.
Yeah.
Like, so how do we avoid that? Like, what do we make different about her so that you don't have the same moment happening?
Right. Yeah.
But like, of course, they didn't. I mean, whether it's subconsciously or whatever, they didn't. It was not their intention to go.
Didn't double back. Well, yeah. And so maybe he did go watch a bunch of Imaginary Friend stuff, and then it's in the back of his brain these ideas that we had, and he accidentally wrote them in and didn't realize that he, was lifting them from us. it's still back there, then you still go double back. You have checks and balances for this. Like that's what your lawyers are for. They go
Right. Yeah.
script before you make your stupid movie.
Well, that's why I feel like it's much more likely that they went, we made enough changes. It's not
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing. That's a real thing. Like you made enough changes, it's not theirs. But
Yeah.
that's not the right way to do it.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
We're good. We're fine. We're so awesome. We'll have more ideas that they can steal from.
On completely different note, not
Yes.
a completely different note. So I think Brian Newland was here. First of all, thank you, Brian, for your feedback on our script.
Oh yeah.
We went through and did a rewrite on Turns Out, not an overhaul by any means, but I think so. We're still working together on Monday on this script, but I think then we went from our first draft to our final draft. Like I think we like, and that's always because like our first draft, when I kept making caveats when we kept calling it our first draft.
Yeah.
Like it's the first time that it was finished to a point that we found it to be done.
Like, didn't dare show it to anybody ever.
Yeah. But it had been, I mean, it had gone through many rewrites up until that moment. So we went from there and got feedback from Brian Newland and Brett Schlenk, and both of which were very, very helpful. Mm-hmm. And we went through and found some really great heartwarming moments, I think. And I think at the end of Monday, we will have our first script written.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Our first truly shoppable.
I mean, it'll still change.
Yeah. Oh my God, of course it will. But we'll have our first like truly shoppable, let's make a deck and go pitch it kind of thing.
Feature film. And we just have to hurry up before John Krasinski and Ryan Reynolds make it as a buddy comedy.
Amy Poehler and what's her name?
Tina Fey.
An idea. Because it keeps happening. I got to get that copyright done. And yes, for anyone's questions, we definitely had copyrights all over Imaginary Friends. And I think Imaginary Friends Inc. too. I can't remember. We did. Anyways, whatever. Moving on with life. Okay. Ooh, 37. Business time. We do have an episode.
We just skipped that.
We just went right past. We just started chatting about life. We had a great segue into my woodland critter situation. So I'm like, I'm taking it. We have an episode coming out tomorrow. I made mozzarella. It's very exciting. I actually cannot wait to do it again. And I was like looking up. So this is a 2-ingredient mozzarella that happened on TikTok. All these bread and cheese recipes are happening. I'm so into it now. I watched this video about how to make yogurts. I'm like, oh, I can do that. Oh, I can make yogurt. So I'm like hot. And then like, I know it's 2 ingredients. So it's not technically really mozzarella. Like you have to put rennet in it to make it mozzarella. So I really want to like watch some more videos and keep trying to make mozzarella. It's so cool, guys. It is so cool. It's definitely worth a watch because it's so simple. If I could do it, you can do it. And like, I want you guys to do it so much, Natalie. I want you and Justin to make mozzarella because it was so fun. Like I don't know.
I'm lactose intolerant.
That's right. You can use.
I'm not taking a whole gallon of milk whole milk. Not even.
I wonder if it'd work with the whole milk lactose milk.
That lactate kind, yeah.
$5 risk, baby. See what happens. Hey James, welcome. I was watching stuff on yogurt now, and like the reason why you like heat the milk up before you put the vinegar in it or whatever, you heat the milk up to like kill all the bugs. Apparently, like there's still buggies in the milk or something like that. I don't know. It's sure. It's so cool. I'm into it. I'm gonna Natalie's gonna become a worm thumper. What's it called?
Grunter. I think it was a grunter.
And I'm gonna start making mozzarella, and it's gonna be a weird life, guys.
I'm pretty sure I can't be a worm grunter in this town. Like I just don't think there's enough like moisture for like it's a pretty dry. I'm sure there's worms, but like, did you watch that whole video?
No, I didn't. I watched this.
Those worms were like this.
No,
the worms are earthworms, and they were ginormous. They were coming out of the ground. In case you guys didn't see, there was this video online of these 2 girls.
Should I saw a corner? Go.
So there's this video of this guy, and he goes out in the woods, and he puts a stick in the ground, and then with a thick stick, and then with a piece of metal, like rubs back and forth on it. And what it's doing is vibrating the ground underneath. And then the earthworms come to the surface, and then you harvest them.
Yeah.
No, it said earthworms. The guy said earthworms. They might have been night crawlers, but it said earthworms because my first thought was night crawlers was the reason. And I don't know, maybe they're the same thing. Because when I was a kid, my uncle had a little night crawler farm in his basement because he went fishing a lot. And it's just, a big box full of dirt and worms that are breeding. But then you would also go outside in the middle of the night and we would go farm night crawlers. And what you do, this is in Minnesota, you would put down a trash can lid and then you put a hose underneath it and let it run. And then when you lift it up, all the earthworms had come to the surface and you just grab them all. Yeah. And so, like, anyway, I think I could have a farm if they would have let me have a raised bed dirt farm. And
to the people, if they would have let me,
if they would have let me, I could be a worm farmer.
I could be farming worms, bringing money into this family.
I mean, there's bodies of water that people can fish in nearby. I could be selling. People need bait. Could I have I wonder, like I was saying, I wonder what kind of insurance you need for your worm farm.
Oh yeah, what was that meme I sent you recently that said one day you're out partying and drinking till 2, and the next day making candles and
it was making candles and something, and like it was like feeding your succulents too, or whatever it was on your side.
Something I do is something that you do. I was like, how did this happen to us? Now we're becoming worm farmers and cheese makers. Like,
I would make an excellent worm farmer.
I think you would. I think you've got the touch. We talked about this. You have to have the touch.
Yeah, like as a worm grunter, that's, I think, what it was called. Like part of that video was like, I've tried to teach people, and sometimes they just can't get it, and I'm like, I get it. This seems like this is right up my alley. Oh, no. And now Natalie and Tara need to try worm grunting. Like, we need to figure out where this dude is.
I think we finally get famous and make an entire channel that's just about
worm grunting.
All it is. We finally get famous.
Natalie's candle and bait shop. I do sell teacups that are just full of worms.
Oh, this is so normal, guys.
I'm so not grossed out by worms, by the way.
No. So. No, she's not. No. Just if it came out of
if it came out of a pumpkin's butt,
then we're freaked out.
Then it's fine. Then I couldn't handle it. Then I was not going to be okay.
Oh, that's an amazing circle back. Oh, that's fantastic. Brilliant. Oh God. All right, 7
Fish with maggots. Corner.
I'll take your worm jokes. Let's see what the internet's got worm joke wise.
Oh my gosh. You said in Australia they have gents who fish with maggots, and that actually I couldn't handle. So one time,
can't deal with maggots.
I don't know. Like there's been a couple times in my life where I've gone like Rambo First Blood on like some creatures. And like, one time was ants in the backyard growing up, and like I was hunting them down. I was following them back to their holes and then drowning. Yeah. But this other time I came home while this is in high school. I came home and there was some dead bird that had maggots in it by the walkway, and I couldn't handle it. But I didn't have any bug spray or anything. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I sat outside, probably almost crying too, because they grossed me out so much. And I had drowned them in bug spray. Doesn't do anything, by the way. And had a popsicle stick and was individually killing them.
Oh my God. It so reminds me of
the tick story.
The ticks of you like, crying in bed because the ticks have gotten in your brain, and you're just, we're so tired. We're so freaking tired by this point. You're just weeping in bed.
I was not okay.
I am over on the floor, like pulling ticks and like
with a battery.
Pulling them with
one by one. You were killing ticks with a battery because that's what you had.
Just while you're weeping in bed. Oh my God, it was so funny. Maggots, I can't deal with maggots though. I love this show called Supersizers Go. It's these two people in England who eat from a time period for 1 week. So they'll do all kinds of time periods. I want to say it's the Baroque episode that they did. They did like, Baroque year 16, blah, blah, whatever. I don't know what years it is, but their maggots were a delicacy. And I'm like, a hard no.
Were they like cooked, or were they alive?
It was like they were traveling and like maggots on cheese was like a thing. So I'm guessing they were alive. I can't.
Oh, because there were cheeses that would like do, yeah, no, no.
Nope.
Like cooked, I can do it.
Mm-mm. No,
Whatever. No
I don't
big
know.
deal.
I just have to think about the it's a maggot. I don't think I could do that. That sounds
I could, no big
awful.
deal. Yeah. But no, not alive. I don't know why they're so,
Why is my white rice moving? Gross.
oh no.
Google the cheese that has met. No, I won't. I will not be doing that, Alibaba Furball. That's a hard not gonna do it. I have boundaries, and that's one of them. I learned from therapy about boundaries, and I'm setting this one. I'm not gonna go Google cheese that has maggots in it.
No.
No, it's not
Because
happening.
then Google will think that you want to know more and it will keep suggesting it.
The algorithm will definitely be against me.
The algorithm will definitely cling a hold of that one.
No. Oh God. Like the scene.
So yeah, worm farming, checking that off of my talk about list. The other thing that I was going to bring up is that I'm in candle debt. The candle company's in full swing, guys. But I am definitely in debt. And it'll be at least a few weeks before it pays itself off. It's not a huge amount. And it's startup cost, like
yes.
and less than $1,000 to start up any company. However, or to start any hobby.
Yes. Oh my God. You've just started a hot. Yeah. Yes. Yes. But a really cool side job.
But yeah. But it's gonna be a while before it pays itself off.
Yeah. I've been like trying to, so I've been working my butt off at the bar, doing the boat thing, which is, it's another rocky year, guys, because the lake is so freaking low. We're doing better than last year, but not by much. So I'm doing the same thing you're doing. I'm scrambling around trying to figure out like, what can I do that's another side hustle? Because you can't have just one job.
Yeah.
It's not life anymore. So I'm like trying to figure out like what I can do that's like my candle making business. I have no idea yet.
There was someone within a close driving distance that was looking for TikTok content creator for their business. First of all, like this posting was like a lot of just, I'm like, there's a lot of things on here that I don't know if they know what they're talking about. And I almost was like, I just need to go and ask them, like, what is it that you want in this, in this, in this? Because that seems like, anyway, I looked up the company and it was a clothing company. Right.
Okay.
And I looked them up. And then I looked at their clothes and I was like, I can't even pretend like I like that. Like, your clothes are so ugly. No TikTok is going to help you. It's not going to work out for you, honey. Sorry. You got to spend money to make money. You also have to spend money to spend money.
Yep. Yeah. Also, I've thought about doing like digital design work and stuff, like making bullet journals digitalized, because people love them, but they're like, oh, I could never make that. Right. Like, I could absolutely make digital. I figured out how to do it. It's just I got to sit down and make an entire one and figure out marketing and where to put it and stuff like that. So like my money on that one is time, because my time is money. Basically.
Well, yeah. And that's the one thing. So I was having this conversation about some of the price points at the farmer's market. And I'm like, you don't get to charge like artist price points.
Yeah.
Yes, it took you X amount of time to do this, but that's not where you're at. That's not what's happening here. On the internet, you can, on Etsy, you can, and, a little bit more, but I was like, no, this is, I had free time that I decided to use to make a craft. And now I'm trying to make money off of it. And so it's like, is there any part of me that's factoring in my time?
Right. Yeah.
In making these? Absolutely not. Or my time sitting out there. No, because the amount I would have to charge to make that make sense. No, I'm factoring materials and making a profit off of materials, and it not being a waste of time. Yeah. Because because there is a level there too. Like you still have to make it worth your time to do it, but you're not getting paid $15 an hour. Like I'm not.
Pick something that you enjoy doing and would have done as a hobby anyways.
Right.
And now you've like, well, I can make money while I do a hobby, which makes sense.
Like these candles take not like full commitment time, but it's still about an hour to make a batch, because you have to wait 30 minutes for it to cool to the right temperature. You have to wait for it to get up to the right temperature. You have to wait for it to cool to the right temperature, so it is a 30-minute time investment, and you can do other things in that time. But am I going to go well, I need to be being paid $15 for that hour too. Well, that means this candle is not, like
Yeah.
this candle is now a $45 candle.
Right.
No, that's no one's paying you $45 for this candle. Like,
Yeah.
so either you decide it's worth it or it's not worth it.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm in candle debt, and they're going to put me in candle debtor prison at some point in time.
I'm just in regular person debt, but I think I'll get.
Oh, I'm in that too.
Yeah, I think I'll work my way out of it someday.
And I don't think that candle money is ever going to pay off regular person debt. It's not. It's
all right. On that depressing note from both of us, let's do joke corner. Joke corner. You guys go find jokes on the internet. Come back and tell them. You can see the formatting. Write joke really big and the entire thing in there so that I see it. I'm not reading your joke. It's because I hate you. No, it's because
these are just the facts of life, guys.
Guys, I am picking and choosing. No, I'm not seeing it because our bots are intense. So you got to change your E's to 3's because you used a word it does not like. All right, let's do this thing. Bonus points for worm jokes. All right, backing up. Desiree, how do worms travel long distance?
1 inch at a time.
I like that. They worm their way through it.
Okay. Basically means the same thing.
Okay, same thing. Why did the worms start a band?
Wait a minute. I want to think about this for a second. We're going to go backtrack for a second.
Okay.
It's actually less distance for a worm to get from point A to point B because, the Earth is like this. And so they're going through a layer closer,
and I'm going like this.
Exactly.
They're going to get to China faster than I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So wait, why do worms start a band? What was it? What?
Why did the worm start a band?
I don't know.
It wanted to be a rock star.
Okay.
Okay.
Very literal. Okay.
David Faye, due to the current food prices, this 10-second rule has extended to 25 seconds. I'm with you. That's not a joke. That's legitimately what we're doing right now. Clayton Gordon, what is worse than finding a worm in your apple?
Finding half a worm. It's an old joke.
David, someone glued my deck of cards together. I don't know how to deal with it. A moment of silence for our dear friend Liquid Water. Or didn't wait, are my contacts not doing a thing? A moment of silence for our dear friend Liquid Water, who did not survive the 100-degree temperature. You will be missed.
Oh,
not even a joke.
It evaporated.
Wait, oh man, it jumped. Hold on, looking for it. Here we go. Desiree, why do worms never argue?
They don't have the stomach for it.
They avoid being caught in a skirmish.
Okay. That's a good, yeah. Do they have stomachs? I don't think, are they all stomach?
I think they have like a weird intestinal tract thing.
I think it's just one straight tube though.
Tube, yeah.
Is it all, so does that make them all stomach or do they not have a stomach?
Somebody go look that up and put the word worm ahead of it so I know to look for it. Oh, why aren't auto body shops called fender bender menders?
Fender bender menders.
And they should be
hard
paid, to say. Because it is. And they should be paid fender bender mender tender. And why, when you pay that, you're a fender bender mender tender spender.
Yeah, and if you needed to get a loan for it, you were a fender bender mender lender.
Well done. That was some quick thinking, Natalie. Good job.
I can rhyme too.
When older people say enjoy them while they are young, they're talking about your knees and your hips, not your kids.
Yes, I started taking some supplement. Justin will tell me again what it's called because my knees have just been like bothering me.
I just bought collagen. Yeah, it's starting. I'm starting. This is we're working on.
It's all downhill from here.
We're working on some things on aging gracefully. I found the longest gray hair right here. I'm so excited. You can't see it. It's pure white. It just blends in with my hair, but I'm very excited.
You're keeping it.
Oh, I'm keeping it. There's a lot of little ones in here, like little baby ones that are not fully grown. This one's like long.
Wow.
I'm very excited. All right. Joke. Stallone. I'm making a movie about composers. I'm playing Beethoven. Van Damme. I'll be Mozart. Schwarzenegger. Stop it, guys. I'm not saying it.
I'll be Bach.
Took me a minute. I don't know if I would have got there on my own either. Oh my God, we got a wife joke. I drove my wife to the airport and dropped her off. She got home 30 minutes later in a taxi and said, "What was that about?"
Hint, hint.
Why did the worms start a garden?
I have no idea.
It wanted to put down some roots.
Okay.
What do worms do to roots? Do they eat the roots? They grow around the roots? I know they aerate the soil and they're good. Puns leave me numb. Mathematical puns leave me number. I wonder if people paying $300 for a colon cleanse even know about Taco Bell's $4.99 deal. Gross.
Gross. But we did talk about poop today.
We did that for poop, so this is kind of on us. I visited my doctor today. He told me my sugar was too high, so I came home and moved it to a lower shelf. Well done. Well done.
You could hurt yourself trying to reach that sugar.
You need to be careful your back in that scenario. I'm beginning to think I'll never be old enough to know better. Yeah. Yeah, that's also another. David's just throwing out like facts just right
wisdom.
Now. Wisdom. I've named my puppies Timex and Rolex. They're watchdogs.
Didn't we do this last week? Oh, we did do that last week. You weren't here.
I wasn't here. But I got to read it now. He has like a Rolodex that he's using of jokes. Scientists have recently discovered fossilized dinosaur farts. They say it's a blast from the past. Gross. Lito, why are worms so easy to get along with?
Because they're so down to earth.
Got it. Bam. Ah, dang it. David had a wife joke. Here we go. My wife says she's leaving. My wife says she's leaving me because she thinks I'm too obsessed with astronomy. What planet is she on? 3 years ago, my doctor told me I was going deaf. I haven't heard from him since. Studies show people that have more birthdays live the longest.
That's
facts. NASA.
Correlation without causation.
NASA is launching a new deep space satellite to apologize for the first one they are naming. For the first one, they are naming it Apollo G.
Apollo G.
My pet termite, Clint. Clint eats wood.
That's dumb.
What do you call a bee that lives in America?
I don't know.
A USB.
Ah.
Why do seagulls live by the sea?
Because otherwise they'd be middle of the earth, middle of the country gulls.
Country gulls. They just be birds. Because if they live by a bay, they'd be bagels.
It's a lake gull. I have a lake gull.
Lake gull. Desiree, worms are great at networking. They're always connected underground.
That's the deep state, actually.
David Faith, a Jehovah's Witness gave me an advent calendar. The first door I opened, there were 2 of them standing behind it. Last night, some thugs threw Chinese dumplings at my house. Can you believe such wanton vandalism? Lito, what did the worm say to the log?
What was it? What?
What did the worm say to the log?
Dunno.
Nice gnawing ya.
No, it's not. Do they chew on wood?
I know. I was confused too. I was like, do they eat wood? I don't know. Again, someone look up.
I mean, wait, some worms do. Well, I'm just thinking about certain kind of worms, but you see the like on the trees where there's like the little, obviously some kind of bug
I'm changing this from joke corner to worm corner. Give me worm information because I don't know. All right, here's
I
my
know
last.
nothing.
It's a 5-minute walk from my house to the bar, but a 45-minute walk from the bar to my house.
Yeah,
Difference is staggering.
it's staggering.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us today for Shush Your Secret Time. We love interacting with you guys. Tomorrow we got an episode coming out. I made some mozzarella cheese. It's pretty awesome. I highly recommend that you try it. We'll be back next week. No issues or things to report. We're working on getting back to doing TikTok content. I'm trying.
It has just not happened.
It's
Like
not
I have
happening.
things I'm supposed to try that are like timely.
Yeah,
And I just back burner it every day.
same here. I have some that are done that need to get.
TikTok is literally always the first thing on my agenda that gets pushed.
Yeah. Oh, same.
Yeah.
And posting on Instagram at this point too, as well. I'm like, I will, because I don't. Anyways, that's
Yeah.
a whole other corner. That's a whole other corner. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you guys next week. And
Bye, everybody.
ending the stream. Ending the stream.